we started working with Telos, which has been great working with them, and they've been supporting Zeptagram in a very nice way.
Are you the developer of Zeptagram?
No, I'm the founder.
Okay.
Founder of Zeptagram.
Take a few minutes and treat me like I know nothing, and tell me a little bit about Zeptagram and what you intend to do with it.
Well, Zeptagram is a trading platform based on blockchain for music rights. So what we do on our platform is that we crowdfund music rights, and we trade, and we have a stock market, secondary market. Because we are working with the composer's right, the foundation of the music rights. The person who has written it, that right, follows through the whole rights chain. So when you listen to the radio, watch a movie or whatever, and the income of that song will always be a royalty connected with the composer's right.
Okay, and so this is something you probably can't even do without blockchain, right? Or how would you?
No, actually, well, this is how the system works today, that you have the collecting agencies, pros, that collect the royalties for music worldwide. And the writers, if they haven't sold away their rights to record labels or publishers, they collect the royalties through that. So we haven't changed that foundation, how you collect it. But what is difficult for people today is to really get hold of music rights as an investment. Or even for young people to go out to their fans and say, well, I can sell you a part of my right for a certain period of time. And in that way, fund a new album, a new tour, marketing, or whatever. That is not very easy for an artist to do today. This is what we want to do. We want to open up this market because the labels sell catalogs among themselves. They sell music rights.
Right. Well, very good. Well, when did you come up with the idea, or when did you found Zeptagram?
Well, our background is in music ourselves, and when you go through this Pirate Bay, streaming services, the music industry changed dramatically. So you did a lot of things, and I was like, there has to be more value somewhere. There's something, because I can see the labels are making a lot of money, but it's not trickling down to the ordinary musician. Actually, yes, you have a few artists that are making millions, but it's not really the whole industry that's not doing that well. And also, before, when you did a record, you could always see who played the guitar, who wrote a song. You know the name of the whole team that actually created this, art. But today you would just see the artist. So that was one of the things that we wanted to really emphasize. There are a lot of people working hard in the background that actually nobody know they are doing what they are doing, and they have rights that we wanted to defend as well.
Now, Christina, are you one of these people? Are you a musician as well?
Yeah, we are. We are two founders. It's Johan Forsman Lowenstrom, my husband, and myself. So we had a band and we produce records, and he is a rock producer. So he's been producing the indie rock scene here in Sweden and Scandinavia for many years, since the 80s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so so we have 5 songs of one of the most famous artists here in Sweden, and we had his first singles that we have written. So we contacted all auction houses and asked them, could you auction out our songs? And because we want a market price. We don't want the price that the record labels want to give us. We want to know what is this, what's the value of it, if the fans are invited, other people are invited. And we had this online auction. And it was very successful, and the computer crashed and so on. So we're like, wow, this is something that people really want. And it was the fans that actually bought the songs, because they wanted the songs. They loved the songs. So we understood there was a wanting and needing from the fan side, that they wanted to be a part of, whatever they've been following from the start.
Okay.
So then we started with thinking about how can we scale this? And then we came across blockchain, which was a perfect match to divide rights and secure ownership, in a transparent way. And transparency the music industry is not known for.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. That's really neat. Now you're talking about whole songs, is that correct?
Actually, because of blockchain, we can have many parts of one song. So even if you, as on our platform, if you put 1% on the platform, we will create a million tokens for that song. So actually, a million people can own 1% of a song. So you can divide the songs in many parts. So yeah.
I see.
So
I see.
you,
I see.
yeah.
Well,
So
so for example, how, if I were a musician, would I go out and look for vocals or maybe drums or brass, or what am I, is that kind of how I would do it? And then say, okay, I want this, or could someone create it for me, and then by doing that they could share in the revenue of the song? How would that, is that how it works?
yeah, because that's the way actually music is done today. When you do a song, you will have to, if you don't do everything yourself, by creating that song, you will say to someone, okay, if you write the lyrics, you will get 50%, I do the music. And if you do the arrangements or something like that. So you share a lot of ownership of the song to start with.
All right,
So
and that's current. That's how it is today.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's how it will probably be in the future. So, but people then can sell their share of that song on the platform. So you don't have to sell the whole song. You can just sell the parts that you own, and it's connected to that royalty that is connected to that ownership.
So if you created a piece and it was included in the song, you own it, but then you could actually sell that?
Yes.
Slick.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how many people would want to collaborate on music because of that.
Yeah, they can, yeah, and also to strengthen that if you are a part of creating something, you should have ownership of that.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Because it's not always the case today. So that's a way of strengthening the ownership of creation, and which is very important. And that's the base of the music industry. And we have forgotten that, craft is somehow. So I think that's why we were interested in, making it more visible, and also showing there's a value there, because in this environment that we're in now, when you look at the music rights, it's the whole lifespan of the person who created the song. And then in the US, it's 30 years, I think 30 or 50 years. In the EU, it's 70 years after the composer is dead or the creators are dead. So it's a long lifespan of ownership and actually income. If you think about Jackson or Beatles, imagine many years more to make money on those. So it's actually more secure than a new built house that would actually have problems in 30 years.
Right.
So
no doubt.
in the long run, we see that, as people can invest in, if you have a good catalog, they have a better turnover than the bank interest. So that could be a solid investment for pension funds and so on, once this is well developed.
Right. Well, in your search tell me about your search inside of the blockchain world. Where did you start, and tell us?
We started then they had this competition in Europe. They wanted new ideas that were compatible with the blockchain. That was 2015. And we sent in our application, and we were chosen among 300 business ideas. And 10 of them were chosen to be going to London, Amsterdam, Berlin, and we spent a month in Zurich. And yes, and met all the blockchain community around Europe, and pitched for UBS and Deloitte and all of them. And they liked this idea because they saw, and UBS said, this is the future because you have connected blockchain to ownership in a brilliant way. So, and we started working with a Swiss company called Lykke. It's actually a blockchain currency exchange.
Okay.
And they offered to build our first MVP for free because they find the idea so interesting. So we actually built 2 with them. And because we live in Sweden, it wasn't that easy to really go on all the time. So we, at the end of the day, they had problems to get some license, and we waited a year, and at the end we decided we are going on our own and actually building a platform that is not on top of theirs, because we were meant to use their engine.
Right.
So we did, and now we have done so. And we started working with Telos, which has been great working with them. And they've been supporting Zeptagram in a very nice way.
Fantastic. Now, so you chose Telos did you look at other EOSIO chains?
Actually, we went from Bitcoin blockchain to Ethereum. So we built two. Yes. But then we set up Telos. And why we liked Telos, it was because faster, and also didn't consume that much energy, and I think that's a good thing. And innovation meets what we don't have to waste everything. We can actually use as little as possible.
Right.
So that's why I like Telos. And now starting to work with them, I know them. They are young and very creative and forward-looking people, and it's very inspiring to work with them.
Well, now, are you doing a worker proposal through Telos, or is this all self-developed?
No, we've developed this ourselves and financed it ourselves. But now we are ready. We are working with Telos, and they're supporting us with marketing, talking to you, and so on. Gotcha.
Okay, cool.
Which is very valuable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, fantastic. Well, I'm so glad that you ended up with Telos, because I'm a big fan myself, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, what else could you tell us about yourself or Zeptagram that we want to make sure and get in today? This is a very interesting project.
I think the music industry is actually looking forward a bright day again, because with the new technique of blockchain and AI, I'm sure we will be able to trace music wherever it's used. And in that fashion, because of all what the industry has gone through, we have actually created more users for music and consumers for music, which means there's a huge market out there for musicians, and also that you can create communities for, because today you are in South Carolina, I'm here. The country doesn't keep people together, interest us. So you can build small communities wherever you can around something. And I think that's the way the artists in future have to do. They have to build communities around themselves. And then we will become a very good tool to really capitalize that and make the fans be involved in a way where they feel they can gain if they are a part of a success, which they always are.
That is awesome. That is neat. Hey, just real quick, months ago, I watched are you familiar with TEDx?
Yes.
On YouTube? I did. There was a gentleman that did a TEDx on, and what he did is he got, it was a lot. It was probably 1,000 people, maybe not, maybe 100. I don't know, but it was a lot of people. And he got all of them to sing their vocals and created one song.
Yeah.
And people were all over the world doing it. And it just made me think, each of those vocals could have had a little ownership in that song if it were.
That's possible. That's possible on the blockchain. That's possible. And then
that is just that's a really, really neat.
That's possible, because they can always they can. But then there's a step that we are not doing, but someone has to record them straight to the blockchains. Yeah, but
True.
We are starting something with a couple of startups, and we do believe that's the future of the music industry. And I will bet you Spotify will be on a blockchain, because they have, as I read yesterday, they have a lot of fake plays. So you will have artists that will get paid because they bought fake plays, and it looks like they are very popular, they're played, and then they have pay out money to them, and then nobody listen to it. So with blockchain, that would be impossible to do.
Wow. Fantastic.
So they should go to blockchain. And Taylor Swift was complaining the other day about somebody bought her catalog, and she didn't have any power of even knowing, and they didn't ask her how she felt and so on. But if you put your own song, you have the control from the beginning on your ownership, and you take your funds from your fans rather from investors you don't know. And first of all, you just sell their right of royalties, not decision where it should be used, and so you have your freedom left, but still get your money in.
Yeah.
She should have Zeptagram. She needed that.
Yeah. Well, you're revolutionizing the music industry.
Yeah.
Again, because the music industry went through a huge evolution here in the last probably couple decades with the internet.
Yes. Yes.
And so this is almost like giving it back to the performers, and I love
yes,
that.
It is. And they always ask, new startups, what's the pain? And I always tell them, I know the pain.
Well, thank you so much, Christina, and thank you for choosing Telos. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you for supporting Zeptagram.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We look forward to hearing more from you. And anytime my team can interview you and put you out on our social media channel, we would love to.
Please.
So
thank you very much.
Keep us up to date as things are going. And thank you again, Christina.
I will. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Music brings people together. Music helps us to find our tribe, share our love and desires. At Zeptagram, we want to bring artists and fans closer together. Zeptagram is a fintech company focused on creating new digital investment markets by using next-generation technologies like blockchain and AI. Do you want to revolutionize the music industry with us? We will tell you how. Zeptagram is born in Sweden and is ready to revolutionize the music industry and the traditional financial sector using its technology. By working closely with artists and content creators all over the world, we strive to offer the most lucrative platform for investment and trading of music rights. The two key features of Zeptagram platform are Zeptagram Crowd Sales and Zeptagram Exchange. Zeptagram Crowd Sales helps artists to tokenize their music rights and enables them to share the ownership of the music tokens with a community of followers in exchange for a financial incentive. The tokenized rights are called digital assets. The ownership of these assets can be tracked on top of a blockchain. With Zeptagram Exchange platform, the community has the possibility to invest in tokenized music rights and support their favorite artists. You will also be able to trade Zeptacoins in other markets. Do you want to revolutionize the music industry with us? Sign up for our beta version and start trading music from your phone. From passion to trade, we make it easy for people to invest in music rights. Zeptagram, a blockchain power tool for the music industry.